Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Twitch Monster 27. And I wanted to give opportunity for everyone to kind of that's going to tune in and get past the promo or the intro. Uh, and we have a very special broadcast for you. So we thank everyone for tuning in to this stream. And in a little bit, you're going to see, um, you're going to get the opportunity to see or hear from individuals who had the opportunity to race, visit, meet throughout the years. And you'll get to hear from their experiences. And it's going to be as we hear these experiences, take time to reflect on your experience that you had and the life that was Allen Starkweather, as we know him so affectionately, beloved Carr, and he was beloved, and we look forward to remembering and honoring his legacy. So in 1 minute, we will get started with that. We appreciate everyone's patience. And I think the first person that wanted to say something was Wilder, who raced with him. So give us 1 second as we set that up. All right, it was. I'm going to tune in here. I think he is on. If not, give me 1 second. Hey, can you hear me, Milkshake?
Oh, let me mute myself.
Hey. This promo won't leave from out of the way. That's lovely. Milkshake, you got a copy?
Yep, copy.
Awesome, man. Awesome. And welcome to the stream. Thank you so much for coming in and having a conversation with us. For everyone listening in, as everyone starts to come in here, everyone listening in, can you, share with us some beloved car memories? The floor is yours.
Man, if we used to play Forza Horizon 5 a lot, and he used to do challenge on that, and he was very a lovely man. He was a very nice guy. I mean, he was a real chill guy, and I loved to race with him. And with that 3 car, he was racing, and then I just raced with him in Limework, and that was the last time I raced with him.
Yeah, he was a big promoter of the series and was always a promoter of meeting new drivers and having an opportunity to run with them. So, you know, for that, I am deeply grateful. And I know that there were races. I think back to the race last season there at Nürburgring, Nordschleife, when we ran that race, and we had the opportunity to, in our chatter, in our race chatter, and we were, commenting on after the race how great that race was, how challenging it was, but also some of you guys like you and some of the newer people that came in and how we were excited to see the growth of the league. So that was really exciting. He was always for promoting and meeting new individuals, especially those that follow the rules and enjoy racing like we did. It was always great. The chat is open. I'm going to. So, my chat on my screen is being funny, but the chat on my phone is good, so I'm going to use that. And so we got Wes in the chat as well. Wes, we'd love to hear from you as soon as we can, just with the opportunity to hear your thoughts. I'm going to be up and down as you guys come in and say a few words. And if you would like to do it just like we would do a speed report if we get enough people in. And y'all just share experiences and everything because it is really early. It's like 5:47. Race doesn't start for another few hours. We'll be here sharing our memories and thoughts about Beloved, and I'll also be reaching out to various individuals. So if you want to give those thoughts in the chat as well, that would be great. Wes, that link is not gonna hold in the chat. So I'm going to figure out a way to post that link. But it's on the GoFundMe app. So that link is to go fund Allen Starkweather's family. That is the GoFundMe that you can find, and I'm sure that Amber, his wife, would greatly appreciate that as well. At some point real soon, you'll start to see clips of Beloved in past races, so we can see. I'm gonna try, Wes. I'm gonna try. Milkshake, let me ask you this since you're in here. What is something about Beloved that stood out to you as you raced with him?
His driving, by the way, it was absolutely perfect. And I mean, on ovals, he was perfectly doing fine. And near road courses, when we got to Lime Rock, something exploded and he was running pretty good. And I don't know what to say. I mean, this guy's was absolutely a good driver.
Yeah, I agree. I agree 100%. I'm getting ready to try and post that in the chat. So we'll see if we can't get that going. Let's see. Let's see if it flags me.
Alright.
So the link is www.gofundme.com/F/support dash Allen Starkweather or Allen Starkweather's family. That is the link there. So I'm gonna try and put it in the chat. You may or may not be able to see it. If you can't see it again, it'll be repeated several times. So you'll be able to see it. I got it wrote down on the board over here. And there it is in the chat. I'm gonna hope that it doesn't kick it out. It should be good. But if there's a link in the chat, we appreciate your support with that, and we thank you for tuning in this early coverage of the honoring of Allen Starkweather. So. If there's anyone out there that's watching, that's a part of the league that wants to hop in here and say a few words, feel free to do so at this time. And I'll start off and I'll share my thoughts. Cool. Okay. So years ago and I do literally mean years, when I founded or started my league in KMR. So it was probably about 6 or 7 seasons that when he came in. I keep forgetting that my camera is over here. Sorry. And I know it's dark. We're going to work on that here in a minute. But so I had the opportunity to meet him as well as many other individuals that they no longer, of course, race in the league, which has been years. But one thing that stood out to me about Beloved, and is how I know him, is he always had a very calm demeanor about him. He was real chill. And I appreciated that, because as competitors, it's easy for us to get excited about the race, right? It's easy to get excited and temperamental at times and over aggressive at times. And there are times that we took the race a little too seriously, if you will. But, I appreciated his demeanor, because at the end of the day, we talk about the race. Once the races were over, we talk about the race, and he'd say, hey, the best thing for me was the fact that I could load in here and have fun with a group of guys that could laugh and joke and race competitively and have fun at the end of the day. That's why I come in here. And so while at times myself and other drivers would be focused on, winning the title, winning the race, and we'd be, we knew how to have fun with it, but winning the title, winning the race, we got to do this. We got, and he was just like, hey, I'm running behind the field a little bit, but hey, it's okay. I'm here. I'm having fun. This is what I enjoy doing. This is what I look forward to week after week. And then I got to know him on a more personal level as the years went on, and we would talk about family stuff. We would talk about, being in relationships. We talk about our marriages. We talk about challenges. We talk about how to overcome those challenges. We talk about how we were able to encourage our wife to overcome a challenge, an emotional challenge, or how we were able to deal with challenges that may have come up in our personal life because of some challenge or some circumstance we weren't prepared for. We talk about life stuff. We talk about what life is like with him being there way in Nebraska and me being in North Carolina, and the differences, whether it's weather or whether it is something else like that. I mean, we would talk about and discuss all those things, and you know we had made plans at some point. We were talking and trying to talk out how we were going to get a chance to actually meet each other face to face in person somewhere. Um, and we never got that opportunity. I remember when we were in KMR, toward the later end of KMR before the restart, and I remember having the opportunity to race with his wife, Amber, and the fact that she led laps in the league and was able to have fun and with us and get a chance. I thought it was awesome because that was also something I always looked at or looked for, was having the opportunity to run with my wife, like have my wife race with me, to be just as passionate about racing as I am. And he had that. His wife was, hey, I want to be a part of your world. I want to be a part of what you enjoy doing as well. And she made the sacrifice to come in and get a second Xbox, another TV, and load in with us and run with us. And it was awesome. It really spoke to me about the type of marriage and the type of relationship that they had. Because even though he enjoyed racing, there was one thing in the world he enjoyed, appreciated, valued more than the racing and the time with the guys. And it was his wife. It was his family. And those are things that stood out to me about Allen Starkweather. And those are things that I'm sure his wife, Amber, is going to miss. But those are memories that she can cherish day after day, because she wasn't distant from him. He wasn't in another universe. He was there with her. He was a part of her world and she was a part of his. And he will be missed.
Hello.
And we have with us uh, Jazz Daddy, aka Woozy Emu.
It not daddy, it diddy. Just please spell it right.
Well, I apologize. Is there something you'd like to share about Beloved while you're here? Thank you for tuning in and joining in.
Yeah. I appreciate want to say a word to our beloved Allen Starkweather weather beloved. Okay, I'm gonna mute you, real sake. Anyway, I just first got it started on your league, and then I met all of you, and there he was, like beloved in the party. I chat with him. He's a very cool guy. And when Naki 4 come along, I got my first ever win of the Motherville, and then he was very proud of me that I got like a top 3. And moving forward, he was a good competitor when it comes to KMR and even BRL.
Yeah, you ran with him a little bit on the same team. I remember. Just tell us a little bit about that too, because that was impactful. Y'all got a chance to run together. He was always a big supporter of you, helping you.
Yeah, gladly. Me and him were in the same team in BOL, and he was just trying to help me, get it to where I can actually get my first ever win of the BOL, but I failed completely because didn't have all the friggin' time. So yeah, but I've never given up my hope and dream of hopefully I'll get like a top 3 or a top 10 without clashing. And ever since, I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up a hope and dream for beloved, no matter what where he is right now.
Yeah, and you know what? Yeah, just like I'm sure Beloved would tell you, you got to keep knocking on the door. As long as you keep knocking on the door, you never know when that door will open for you. But if you stop knocking, it's guaranteed it won't open. It definitely won't open for you. So you got to keep knocking on the door. It'll open up for you. You know, Random, we thank you for tuning in as well, man. You got anything you'd like to share with us?
I gotta say, love it. He was a really good guy, honestly. I mean, even though I didn't talk much with him, really good guy, I must say. Pretty kind. Race my first season with him, my first race with him went well. Love this. He honestly welcomed me a bit to this league ever since I joined. All you guys have is really kind-hearted, and I hope his wife and the rest of his family can get through their life together. They will always Beloved will always be looking down on him, cheering them on. May God be with them. That's all I have to say.
Thank everyone. Thank you. Thank you, Woozy. Thank you, Random Milkshake, for your comments and kind words. And we want to thank everyone for tuning in to the stream. I'm going to periodically be sharing the GoFundMe. This is how you can support Amber in the loss of Beloved. If it ain't nothing but $1, anything helps with support for her and being able to cover all of the costs and everything that is associated with this sudden loss. So thank you very much.
Sam, aim join.
Oh, hold on. Sorry, go ahead.
Aim joined the call, so just would have late.
Oh, Aim, yeah. Bring him in. He hasn't.
Yo, what's up, man?
What's up, Aim?
Not much, just chilling, man.
Hey, yeah, same. Hey, if you got first, I'll just hold that thought. Josiah, you want to share something about Beloved that you remember? You want to talk about him a little bit? No? Why are you shy? No? Yeah, me too. Me too.
I don't want to say something to A.
Oh, this is a serious stream. We're not playing this time. When we start the race, maybe you can. Okay? All right. But hold that thought. All right. Hey, Aim. So, did you have anything you wanted to share, experience or anything like that you want to share?
Yeah, I got some things I could say about him. going back to my first season I ever joined BRL. Didn't know anybody. Nobody at all. It was a couple people that I started talking to. Beloved was one of them. He was a really good friend, good person to talk to. And when I was starting to figure out things for Forza, he'd help me out doing this and that. And there's been plenty of late night calls where we were on there, and it was fun. You always believed in me, this and that. He So I mean, yeah, he'll be missed. That's for sure. He's watching down on us, and I hope we go out here and put a great race on for him, man. I hope we show him good. That's all I got to say about it.
Yeah, one thing that was interesting was the fact that this season was the first season that he made the Final Four in multiple series, in BRL and in KMR. So it was crazy, man. When we got ready to load in this past race, I almost invited him to the party. And then I had
Yeah,
that somber reality check, like, oh wait, no, I can't invite him. And it's
yeah,
moments like that
it's
where it just
crazy.
hits you, like, dang, this is real. This really happened. Yeah, it was tough.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's kind of you don't know how much it like hits you until like because this is like a racing league. It's not like these people around me that I see with my own eyes in day-to-day life. So you wouldn't really think it would hit that hard, but then it happens and it's kind of like wow, he's not gonna be racing with us anymore. It's really it's really wild to think of, honestly.
Yeah, for sure. And it's like the the reason why as well, you know. Um, not just that he decided to retire like Frosty, Frosty decided to retire, and we did a tribute for him, but it hits different when the person had something tragic to happen, you know. Then it's like this person is we're retiring him for something completely different, and that's when it's a challenge to deal with. So
Yeah. I think it's really wild because I don't think people think that this could happen. Like I wouldn't have guessed that it would have happened in an online racing league and like everybody come together like this, which is really great. It's a great community that we have, and yeah, it really sucks that it happened the way it did. If he'd still be here, I know he'd be loving the race tonight, and it'd be wonderful.
yeah, absolutely. And just a reminder, guys, the GoFundMe is in the chat, real down below. So if take that time to be able to support in any way that you can, um, and just being here and reminiscing is actually support as well. I'm sure that Amber will be on. If she's not on now, be on a little bit later to pay tribute or to watch us pay tribute. So I just thank everyone's participation in this.
Sam, do you have any what's your favorite memory of Beloved that you've had over the years?
And so, my favorite memory, if we're talking individual memory, my favorite memory was when, so this was this BRL? I want to say this was a BRL race, but I was trying really hard to get Beloved to win the Daytona race, right? So we ran in the back of the field for a long time, a really, really long time. We ran in the back of the field, and I told Beloved that this was his race. I had pinned to his back bumper. I said, hey, this is your race. You're going to win this race. So we're running, and we're off the pace, because one thing about Beloved and plate tracks is he never really could hold his line the way he needed to build momentum consistently. But for whatever reason, this race he was locked in, and so we're running, and all of a sudden, everyone has to pit. I think we still had a couple laps of fuel left. We had strategized we were going to run the tanks dry, and we ended up taking the lead. Beloved's sitting there leading laps. I'm running second. We're sitting there chilling, and what ended up happening was a late race caution ended up coming out, and it just destroyed the chance that we had, because then we ended up having to pit. We got marred in the field, and the rest is history. I don't remember who won that race, but I know we didn't get the opportunity to. But that was a great one, because we sat and we talked about the what if after the race for like the longest, because he had such a great opportunity to win that race, and it just didn't come to fruition that night. That's one fond memory I have for sure, running with him. Individual
That's a good memory. That is. Woozy, you got any memories that you want to bring up? No. Woozy?
I don't know if he's there or not.
Well, one of my favorite memories probably, and I know I haven't been around the league almost one season, maybe 2 seasons, but like I think it was one night we were in, like, it was me and like a couple others in the party, and we were just, I think we sat on to like 1 o'clock, and we were just sitting there talking, and he kept sending me these funny videos and whatnot, and it was like hilarious stuff, like, and we were dying laughing. It was a really good night and all that, so that was pretty enjoyable. But BD Dolphin joined if he wants to if you want to talk to him.
How's everybody doing?
Hey, BD. How you doing?
Not too bad. How are you, Sam?
Doing all right, man. We were just sharing our beloved thoughts. No pun intended.
Yeah, I was listening to some of them when I was getting around here. So you guys have some good things to say. Some things that I remember about Beloved that I'll never be able to forget is just the he was never in like a bad mood. Obviously he showed emotion and whatnot, but no matter what was going on with his daily life or whatnot, when you got on the Xbox or you got on a party chat and you were talking, he really did throw that crap all out the window, and it was really just about the moment, and he lived in the moment, I think we should all strive to do that, because you live your life to the fullest that way, I think, and he surely did that. Very proud to know him as a friend. And one thing I always liked is, I'm sure he said this a lot for one of his things, but he would always say, "What's up, my guy?" And I always liked that when he would say that. It was just one of those things, someone always says when they see you for the first time, or when they talk to you for the first time that day. But speaking of the championship and situation that the guy was in, obviously only get to know him for about a year racing BRL and KMR for the first time this year, and then BRL last year or last season. I was very impressed and very proud of him to hang in there and make the Final Four, which I thought was awesome. And I can just remember struggling with him at Lime Rock, and I could just remember telling him, "Thank the Lord above that I got locked in off whatever you want to call it." And I didn't have to worry about road course racing that much there, and he ended up making it, which I was proud of him, and he did. But then we ran Eagle Rock, and it seemed like he was fast there too and had a good car. Obviously, it stinks what happened in his last race, but I could not get around him. So it's also another good memory that I have. Was a good one. Was able to run around him as much as I did in those two instances. But I heard AIM talk about, some of the stuff, late night stuff, and not so much just a part of the league. After, if we'd get online and get on Forza, and I remember Wes was telling me a story. I didn't even get to experience it, but I can just hear him still in my mind, going band for band with Milkshake, I think it was, or somebody, just basically talking about their stats on Forza 5, I think it was, and it was just, I'm sure it was fun to listen to him go back and forth, and a friendly matter, of course, and showing each other's cars, because beloved man, he had a pretty good selection of cars on Forza, in my opinion. So I always thought that was cool.
Yeah, I used to love him. He'd be like, I get a message, like I'd be at work, and I don't too much. So I do use my phone at work, but I use it for work. So if somebody in management messages me or I message them back, the only time I really use my phone for anything outside of that is on lunch. But there would be times I get a message and he's like, "Hey, check out this car I made." Yeah. And I mean, I still suck at making cars. I really do. Paint schemes, I really do. And it's funny because I'll get done and think, man, this looks good. And then Beloved will send me a message, "Hey, check this out." And I'm like, dang, I can't do nothing on this game. I'm just going to let somebody else do it. He was really good at making schemes. And he was proud of that. We'd load in and he'd be like, "Hey, take a look at my car." And he'd tell me what he did, or he'll show me a picture of a die cast on, what he made that car after, and he'd be almost spot on. And I'm like, those are things, is like, those are awesome memories, you know what I'm saying? Like, even outside of the game, we were able to have fun and share those memories, overcoming distance,
100%. One thing that I loved when about paint schemes and him building cars, that 3-car championship scheme that he built was, it's a really cool car. It really is. With that gold and whatnot, I'm pretty sure he built it. And yeah, he did have an art for that, because I'm the same way. When I build a paint scheme, it's literally a solid color for the car, maybe a different color hood, and just a bunch of stickers all over it. Trying to make it somewhat decent. But yeah, he had the skill for that, for building cars and making them look cool. Yeah, so I always loved him and Amber too, when we were on late night calls or late night talks or whatever, and those guys they just always be having a blast. It felt like,
They were just fun, man.
Yeah, they were. And yeah, so I really appreciate that. They always, and like I told you before, it was like every time you got on with him, no matter what happened in his day, he could have the crappiest day in the world, and it was like he had the best day. So he was never down, and always happy to talk to you and ask you about your day and whatnot. So yeah, very very blessed to meet the man, and very blessed to get to know him, and I'll never forget him. That I can tell you, and I believe tonight's race is going to be very emotional and a very good one, and I know he'll be watching and wishing everybody the best of luck.
Yeah, and we have Frosty here with us. Frosty, before you say anything, we're expecting Amber to be in here in a little bit. We'll get a chance to hear from her personally, and I'm looking forward to that. We'll get a chance to share some things, so I'm really looking forward to that. But before that, just putting everybody on notice. Frosty, go ahead with. I'm sure I know you got some experiences because you known them a little while as well.
Yeah, for sure, man. First off, thanks for letting me come back. I hope everybody's doing all right. You probably haven't heard from me in a little while, but yeah, man. I mean, I'll tell you what. I knew Beloved for 5 years? I think it was. We raced for the first time 6 years ago. But we really started talking to each other about 5 years ago. And I'll tell you what, man. There's something about him. It was just the vibe that he brought to every conversation was nothing like anything I'd ever experienced before. Like BD said, he was always, at least towards me, really upbeat. It didn't matter what had happened in the real world. We get on the game and we had a good time together. So we talked a lot over those 5 years, and kind of echoing what he said, all the way up until I think the last one he sent me was around the last week of January. He'd shoot me a text, and mind you, I had kind of stepped away from anything league racing. I wasn't really doing it. I didn't care for it too much. I kind of left that part behind me, but he'd still send me a text message once every few weeks and said, check this thing out. So I'd look, paint scheme on Fords. I was like, God, look at that. I kid you not. All the way to the very end. He's making these paint schemes. He's showing me these paint schemes, and they don't look bad either. They look good. He's showing me all these replicas and throwbacks, and I had the privilege of having his phone number, and I was able to chat very briefly with Amber last week when everything happened, but I was able to we would text back and forth, and he would be like, Frost, look at your phone, and I'm like, what? I'd look, and there it was, right there would be a paint scheme or a die-cast of a scheme. I was like, this dude he's got an itch for it. So man, he was a lot of fun, and I'll tell you, one of my most favorable memories in terms of when we did race together was being able to bring him a championship a few years ago. That was fun, because I mean, to this day, I never really knew if it was Sam's satellite team or if it was Beloved's team, and Sam was. I knew that somebody owned it, but at least in the back of my head, I always thought that CMR brand was Beloved's push, and he gave me an opportunity to drive that car. So to win that championship and be able to celebrate it with him, that was a lot of fun, and we were able to have some pretty good conversations together too. And a little snippet, me and him grew up about, obviously in different times, but about 15 minutes away from each other. The high school he graduated from was like the neighboring high school to where I graduated from. So to be able to say that we were two upstate New York guys and kind of bond over that, and then how we kind of found our way to each other through the gaming world, that was special, man. And I'll tell you what, when this goes for everybody, when you experience something so tragic like this, it's important to lean on each other, because that's what he would have wanted us to do. And again, he was so much fun, man. I mean, I had such a good time just being able to sit there and talk with him, and that he would want us to keep doing what we're doing, keep smiling in honor of him, keep laughing in honor of him. He was such a good guy, and he treated me like family. And mind you, I was like 15 years younger than he was, and I was like, hi, Beloved, in 2020. Good grief. He was a very special guy, and you only meet a few people like that in your lifetime. So when I heard the news, it was actually a guy named Shadow Alpha texted me, because again, I've been out of the league perspective for a few months now, and when he texted me, I stopped everything what I was doing, and I texted his wife, and I texted Sam, and I was just gutted, because again, he was a really great guy, and if somehow I had a magical scope to know what was going to happen, I never would have stopped racing, because I love spending time with him, and I love spending time with everybody. So but we're sad now, because of all the joy that he brought us then. And I feel like the best way to honor somebody is to keep their memory alive, keep saying his name, keep smiling in honor of him. And I know wherever he is now that he'll be watching down on all of us. So, man, he was a heck of a guy. And again, we talked till 2 o'clock in the morning about the most random things. Be like, "What up, New Yorker?" So he was special, man. And yeah, I will always miss those conversations, but I'm grateful that I was able to have them.
Well, don't forget about me. I'm the one who put you in the BRL in the first place.
Yeah, you're the reason I even found my way here, literally.
And I'm gonna pass the mic over to Amber here in a second, but one thing that I am deeply grateful for is I said earlier on in the stream that he was number one above all a family man, and you know, he really I learned from him. I learned a lot from him because there was a period of time, not to go too far in depth in what was going on, the circumstances that were going on for me. But I learned from him one night because he said, "Hey, you know what?" And he was sitting really good in points. He was doing really good in BRL and what we were, or actually in KMR. He was doing really good. And in this particular season, he said, "Hey, my wife and I, we're gonna take a couple weeks off because my wife and I, we got our anniversary to celebrate. So I'm not gonna be racing." And if you want to know the context of all of that, that's a conversation for later as far as me. But what I learned was that there was a clear divide between racing and spending time with us, spending time with the guys, and his family. And nothing was going to come in between his wife and time with his wife. That was number one and the most valued. We talk about experiences with him at work, and things we had to go through and things he went through. And he went through those things so that he could provide for Amber and for their children, their furry children. And so we talked about some of the things that he had to go through physically to be able to make that happen day in and day out. But he made it happen. And some of those conversations were the most impactful for me because there are times as guys, we're like, "Hey, we got to spend time with the guys. It's guys' night, but nah, it was number one all the time was Amber. Amber was always there with him. So that taught me a very big lesson. It helped me with my growth as a family man myself. So I will always be grateful and have that and hold on, cherish that memory. I know that Amber's here with us. Amber, you got anything you want to say? I think you might be muted or we didn't hear through that. Do you want to take a moment? You want Black to say a few words real quick, and we'll try to get your sound right. Black, you want to say a few things? Because you've known him a really long time. You know him almost as long as I have.
I known him ever since back to NASCAR 14 when I subbed for him as your teammate. Him and Speedy, I always filled in the car because I was always a reserve driver for you. But yeah, it's been really hard for this past week. So I even called Sam. What was it, Sam?
It was
2 days
early.
after.
Yeah, it was.
It
It
was.
was about mid last week.
I
About
called
middle of the
Sam
week.
and I said, and then Sam broke the news to me because I have everything muted. The only thing that I have unmuted is Sam if he needs to get a hold of me that something's happened. Well, I called him and then he broke the news, he broke the news to me, and I started dying, and I started absolutely crying my eyes out. He can hear it on the mic. But yeah, me and Beloved went through hard times. He's drove. Uh, he was there when I won my first championship before he transferred to the new console, and he was an official, and I was a backup official for him in gaming, game drift or something like that.
Game destroyed.
Yeah, me and him both was backing up destroyers and officials for the NASCAR 15 league. But yeah, it's sad that he's gone, but I'm gonna go get it loose tonight. I'm driving a special car. It's got all of his sponsors on it that I'm paying tribute, and to Amber and all them. It's even got Amber and Beloved's name on the back of it. I had another thing made, hockey made for me. And it's got it on the back bumper right above my tail light. But I'm gonna go give it heck tonight. But I'm gonna head over because I got run some, and I'm gonna go see if my other guys has got mics and stuff for the Xbox party.
All right, and we are. We'll transition at about 7 o'clock because there's individuals over on the Xbox side of things that also have things they want to share, and then we'll have the pre-race. We'll have the actual pre-race. This is the pre-race to the pre-race, if that makes any pre-race sense. Probably not, but yeah.
I'll go get that party set up for you. So when you get ready, just message me.
All right, appreciate you, Black, and I
No
appreciate
problem.
everyone for.
Did you send me that list that needs invited?
Not yet. I will get you that list because I don't know.
I know Jaron.
Yeah. Well, we'll talk about
My
it.
driver.
We'll talk about it.
Alrighty.
Yep. Appreciate you.
No problem. I'm gone.
All right. And I saw Amber unmute, so we'll see if we can get the sound to come through.
You guys hear me?
We hear you loud and clear now.
Okay. Yeah, he enjoyed you guys' company. He was always excited for every race you guys did. And I always teased him about you go on your little date now. Have fun with your day. and I always loved his laugh when you guys were having so much fun. He always talked about you guys. Definitely the late nights. He's like, I don't know what we got ourselves into on some of the late night races you guys did, but he really enjoyed you guys' friendship really so much.
Thank you. And we enjoyed him. I really appreciated having him also a part of my officiating team because he was always so fair and he was able to look at things and keep things in the right perspective. He was balanced, and that helps because a part of your officiating team, you have some that are extremely competitive, and then you have some that are reserved, and there's always a balance when you have the two there. Do we kind of balance each other out? And so I really appreciated that, and just the example that he had when he ran with us. It was always a class act. He was always following the rules all the time, and is really impactful to all of us in that are here and in the racing community. And he always talked about you. He always talked about your furry children, your kids, your dogs. We could hear him in the background. He would always talk about what they would do or not do, or I remember when they had puppies, when you guys had all your puppies, all your dogs there, and he talked about how emotional it was to have to downsize a little bit when that was a very emotional time, and it was just the way he described it in the conversation and everything just made it feel like we were all there, you know, when he talked about those moments. I know Sebastian just popped in
That was me.
and Wilder. So
Yeah,
Sebastian popped
yeah.
in first. Sebastian, you want to say a few things?
Yeah, sure. I mean, he was one of the funniest guys on track by far, on and off it, to be honest. Oh my gosh, if you heard some of the things he said, dude. Um, but yeah, he was always really fair and made some of the best looking paint schemes out on track, to be honest. Um, he always had great sportsmanship and did never complain if he was a lap down or anything. Or, I mean, just great guy all around, to be honest. I don't really know what else to say, but
Thank you, Sebastian. Um, Wilder, I know you were first on my list. I tried to get you. I thought you would have been on a little bit earlier, but that's okay. Um, we saved the best for last. So the floor is yours, Wilder, if you want to say a few words.
Give me a second. I gotta go grab something.
And we want to thank everyone that is here on stream for your support. You can continue to support with the GoFundMe that is there. The link is in the chat, and anything will be very beneficial in supporting Amber and her family. So. I gotta hook up a phone charger, else my phone is gonna die. It's at like 5%. But if anyone has anything else they'd like to share, or a fond memory, or anything else, and they'd like to share, the floor is open. At least till Welder gets back.
yeah, Sam, you there?
He had to go
He said,
plug his phone
yeah,
in.
yeah, I got you.
Waiting on Welder. If
Uh,
anybody has anything else to say.
well, I know the paint schemes tonight are gonna be very great. I have a feeling there's gonna be some nice paint schemes on the track tonight.
Yep, you're right about that.
You know,
I think my best memory with Beloved was probably racing around Daytona, beginning of the season. That was probably my best memory right there.
yeah, I think all my memories go back to, I mean, just being laid up at night, you know, just yapping about stuff. It's crazy.
Yeah. And racing NASCAR 25 with him. That was fun.
Yeah, he'd always send me glitches and pictures of how glitched NASCAR 25 was and how the crash physics were and everything before the game came out. He was so hyped about the game. He really was.
Yep.
I think we all were. I know I was. We
Yeah,
talked
I
about that
was.
for it was everything. It was like every day we had to talk about it until the game came out. It was crazy.
Yeah, even in the off season, man, we'd get in a party just talking about how NASCAR 25 in the league would be and what KMR was like when he was racing in there. You know, some of us never raced KMR before, like me and Dolphin and Milkshake. So
Yep.
you'd always, tell us what KMR was like, I think. So I mean, yeah, it was some good nights and it was great. I do know I didn't get to talk to him as much this year as I did last season because um I was out, and when I came back, it was good, and I texted him the night before and like was happy to be back, and he was glad to have me back on the track, and that was pretty good.
Yeah. Just Horizon 5. I mean, me and Beloved was arguing about we have the best stats for Horizon 5. And that's my best memory right there.
I think somebody
Yeah,
was
heard
actually
that
talking about
earlier.
that earlier. Yeah.
Wasn't that you? I'm pretty sure that was
All right,
you.
I'm
Oh
back
wait, no,
now.
that was Dolphin.
I think it was Dolphin. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
All right, what were we
the
talking
floor is
about?
yours, buddy.
We're ready for you.
Oh,
You,
oh my,
the
yo, why'd y'all put
memories,
this pressure on me, man?
all the pressure, man. Come on.
All right, be
If I
quiet,
had a
man.
spotlight, it'd be
Like,
right on you right now.
Come on, Walter.
oh my, like Blow was just like a really good man. He was always there if you like ever needed to talk. He was always really nice to everyone and like a great guy. On and off the track. He was just amazing all around, and I don't know really what to say anymore.
You know,
I'm done.
you never can say too much good about somebody. You know, um, this one thing he always we when we would sit and reminisce like two old guys about KMR in the past and everything. One thing he always said is he would dang near pay money to have one race where all of everyone that we ran with in NASCAR 14 and 15 and Heat Evolution, I hate to bring that up, and all of that, one race where we bring all of those guys back, like uh, we talked about Jaren, and we talked about Speedy, and we talked about Game Destroyer. Um, we talked about who else? Spheric Rope. Um, we talked about Paintbrush, and we talked about Little Habibi, and we talked about just there was so many Ghost Train. There's so many, and we just wish that we could have one race where we'd have the opportunity for everyone to come back for one. And he said that that was one thing we always kind of reminisced on because we felt in a large way that wasn't going to be possible. But these were drivers that we kind of grew up with, if you want to, using that loosely. Um, and they were founders of the league. If it was KMR or BRL, they were kind of the foundation, um, and those were guys week in and week out that we kind of got used to being around, and got used to running with. And so when they left and went and did their own thing, whatever that may be, or took a step back, because we did that for years, it just left a hole, and was just like, you got those few group of people that you always had a good time with. There was never a time we ran in and we were like, man, that stunk to be around these people today. We always loaded in. We're laughing. We're joking. We're putting each other in the wall and then laughing about it because of something crazy that we thought process. There was nothing. There was nothing where we were like ready to where racing wasn't fun anymore. We were always looking, hey, it happened, but we're gonna come in. We may have been upset in the moment, but we're gonna come in the next race and we're gonna laugh about it and we're gonna move forward. It was a great atmosphere, and we talked about some of those ones and some of the terms they would use, some of the things they would say or mannerisms, but it's great that a few of those guys will be able to come back and pay homage to Beloved in this race, and this is something that he wanted, and it really hurts that he's not here to be a part of it on the track, because it's what we've always talked about. So that's something else that I always stick out. This is a race for the history books right here coming up. And Amber, you will always be a part of this family. Always. So we will always work to make sure that we check on you and make sure you're good. And if you see us every now and again, pop in the party. We're here. Say hi. We're here because even though, and we're thankful for the time that you gave Beloved to spend with us, even though he was spending that time with us, it wasn't separate from you. In some way, he talked about you, and in some way, he talked about his family. So, hey, stop in. We're here for you, and we'll always be here for you.
Will do. Will do.
Yeah. So on the Xbox side of things, when we transition, I know Dale's been biting at the bit to say a few things as well. So you'll get that pre-race. So what you expect after that pre-race is going to be a little shorter, probably about 15 minutes, because it's going to be a lot to kind of organize in about 15 to 25 minutes. But 15 minutes, and then I will have a driver's meeting for all our drivers that are going to participate tonight, and then we will take the green flag at 7:45 Eastern Standard. At least that's the hope. It might be 7:45, 7:50, 55-ish, but somewhere in that time we're going to be taking the green flag. So until then, I know we got about 10 more minutes if anyone has anything else they want to add.
I forgot to mention this in my little moment I had, but one time on NASCAR 25, me and Beloved were running Atlanta, and we ran like 7 races, and it was on those like super short online NASCAR live lobby thing, and I wrecked like every single time on like the first lap, but she managed to like stay up near the front close to every time. And I was like so mad, dude, I swear. But I mean, that was, now that I look back on it, it was pretty funny actually. But yeah, that's something I wanted to share.
And so the league, both BRL and KMR, are going to retire the 3-car after tonight. I know that in KMR he didn't run the 3, but I think that will be very fitting in just retiring that number and representation and in honor. And it's just ironic that he chose that number primarily to run most of the time. So that's just going to be very memorable. Hey, my son has something he wants to share about Beloved real quick. Come over here. Look over there into the camera. Go ahead.
My favorite one of Beloved was when he called me AKA Little Monsters. Like, it was very cool because I didn't know he was gonna call me that, because I didn't know like stuff, like I didn't know if he wanted, I thought he was gonna call me my regular name because I've been in here for a couple times, but then I could go in there, so yeah.
Well, thank you for sharing that. Yeah, one of the things that we did talk about was a time when you'd be coming into the league, and everybody joked that after I retired that you'd be taking over my ride. Yeah.
But to say, me and Beloved would always joke about when Little Monster was going to get the big car, all the time.
When you turn 18, you'll probably be on before then. We're gonna get you in there before then.
But I need that Xbox so I can be in.
Yeah, we'll take care of that. We'll take care of that. You just worry about keeping your grades up, doing good in school. You let the rest fall in place. Okay. And that's something Beloved will want. Make sure you doing good in school. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we would always talk about that, Frosty. We would always talk about that. He'd be like, "Yeah, when's Little Monster coming?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it's probably gonna be a minute."
Sometime. Yeah, it was fun. Beloved was funny, man. Like,
He's ready now, man.
He was funny. Like the things that we would joke about. I swear to you, I would never hear it from any other person. Like, just the way that he could make me laugh was just contagious. Like, that's one thing that I've missed a lot in the last few months, and especially now, is just how much he could make me laugh from just the smallest things, like bugging Sam to get Little Monster in the car. He was just, man. I'm telling you, I want to be there when he makes his debut.
I will definitely let y'all know when he makes his debut. I think I've watched him run some races, and I play with him on his. I give him all my older stuff because I want to see how he takes care of it first before I go and invest in the newest. And he for his age, he takes care of his stuff pretty decent. So we play the old NASCAR Rumble on PlayStation 2. And one thing that I think is I want to see him progress first is I want to see him with more attention span, which I expect his attention span to be the length of a fruit fly right now. But when his attention span gets to where he can run and concentrate and focus for 25, 30 laps at a time, then I think he'll be ready to kind of be in and out here and there, because I'd hate for him to lose attention span and lose focus and then make the experience for other people a negative one because he's out there wrecking or whatever. But I think that once that attention span improves just a little bit, which will probably come with a little bit of age too, he'll be fine. He'll be ready. There were times when I used to get on iRacing, I used to let him, in the practice, I used to let him, hop on and try and drive out of pit road. He made it out of pit road once. The other times it wasn't very pretty.
Yeah.
And then whenever I start getting fussed out over the chat, then I'd take over.
Yeah.
Yeah. So hopefully, all right. So it's 2 minutes till. So what we'll do is we'll take this time now to. I wouldn't say end the stream. We're gonna pause it. We're gonna go to part 2, and it'll be over Xbox. There were some individuals that were not able to, give their thoughts and comments simply because of the fact that they don't have the Discord. But over Xbox, we'll have the opportunity to hear some of their thoughts and everything, and then we'll begin with the pre-race. But I want to thank everyone for showing up, and thank everyone for giving support to Amber and everyone to this league and to everything he was a part of. And thank you so much for sharing those experiences, guys, because they're unique to each and every one of you. Some piece that you can carry with you, as time goes on. So thank you all for tuning in, and I really appreciate that. I know that Amber does. I know Beloved does, and so thank you so much. And so we'll take this time to pause the stream and transition, and we'll see you guys shortly.
Sam, I'm not logged into your Twitch. I assume you want the race on the big Twitch.
Yep, I'll pass that information along just because I think I got to unlink and all that, so I got you.
Wait, is Frosty gonna broadcast it?
Yep,
absolutely.
I'm back. Hey, good
That's
news.
gonna be fun.
Well,
Gonna be nice.
I have good news and bad news. What do you want to hear first?
I want to hear
go with
good news.